No.
Today, we're going to show you the Ozark Season 4 return date and all the details you should know. The new season is coming to our screens with more drama, new casts, and an interesting plot that you certainly don't want to miss out on.
But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple.
First is the return date of the 4th season of this crime drama. The 3rd season of Ozark came in with a bang. We saw Marty get tortured by his controller, the drug kingpin himself, Navarro. The 3rd season also showed a lot of character development, especially in Wendy, who we saw go from a sad wife to a stone-cold killer after her order that got her brother killed. And even better, the season ended with quite the suspense after Navarro killed his lawyer, Helen Pierce. The question the fans are asking is, what happens next? In June 2020, Netflix looked to Twitter to announce the return date of the 4th and final season of the show. Netflix wrote, "They're going to go out with a bang. Ozark will be back with an expanded 14-episode final season." 14 episodes. There's not enough popcorn in the world to get us through this final season. Ozark has a twisted pattern of release. Its 1st season was released in July 2017, the 2nd season in August 2018, and the 3rd season in March 2020. So there's no exact pattern to follow, and with the ongoing global health situation, they had to halt production. However, the schedule got back on track in August 2020, and we should see half of the season by the summer of 2021. Now we know when the 4th season should hit our screens. So let's move on to the next big topic for debate, the plot and what to expect from the show's final season. The 3rd season ended with Navarro choosing the Byrdes over Helen after getting her killed, Marty trying to convince the FBI to take down Navarro's rivals, and Wendy being neck-deep in the business of Navarro's cartel. After shooting Helen, Navarro tells the Byrdes, "This is just the beginning. It's certainly going to be the beginning of Season 4, and it's going to come with a new set of horror and drama." While chatting with Entertainment Weekly in a bid to explain why the 3rd season ended the way it did, showrunner Chris Mundy said, "We thought of the first third of the season as Marty versus Wendy, and Wendy kind of wins that battle. And then it transitions to this tentative alliance between Wendy and Helen, and by extension, Wendy and Marty versus Helen. By the time it came to the end, we really wanted to hold that tension of these two things that cannot cohabitate. Somebody has got to win this battle because Navarro is not going to put up with anything unstable, and he was going to have to pick a side. To be fair, the Byrdes had a better advantage on getting picked by Navarro. He could always hire another lawyer just as good as Helen, but to get an accountant who would get a casino to launder money through and get the FBI to be on his side is really rare to come by. Hence, his decision to shoot Helen and prove his loyalty to the Byrdes. So it's very likely that the Byrdes will become Navarro's right-hand couple, and Wendy will most likely be given the same power as what Helen held. If this power is given to Wendy, she would likely have to make tough decisions that will involve the lives of innocent people. We've seen Wendy become a cold, calculated, and hardened woman, so it may be easy for her to take on this job, but with her involvement in the death of her brother, her emotional part may get the best of her and come in between her and getting a job well done for Navarro. Marty, on the other hand, will not have much development. He's still going to remain the brains behind laundering the money and trying to get the FBI agent Miller on their side. We're also looking forward to some exciting character development in Season 4. The death of Wendy's brother Ben was the straw that broke the camel's back for a couple of characters in the show. Ruth cut tie with the Byrdes over the death of Ben, and she shifted her loyalties to Dalene at the Snell poppy farm, where she'll help her run her heroin operation alongside her cousin Wyatt. According to Mundy, Ruth's story in Season 4 will be about whether or not she can create something of her own that she wants and is sustainable, or if she wants something else. He also said, "I think it'll be about if the Byrdes can turn the biggest mistake of their lives into this huge advantage, and how much will karma mess with them if they do." Then there's Jonah, a poor boy who has been through a lot of trauma for someone his age. Since he became aware of his family business, he became insensitive to murders and killings, but the death of his uncle has had a heavy impact on him that almost pushed him to become a murderer himself, until he learned the truth from Helen that his mother was responsible for ordering the hit on his uncle Ben. The last we saw of Jonah, he was filled with rage, and he had a shotgun in his hand that he used to blow a hole in the living room window. We can certainly say he isn't handling his uncle's death and the revelation behind it very well, and his actions and decisions in the next season may be a tough battle between emotion and justice, or should we say vengeance. The actions of most characters in the 4th season will mostly revolve around Ben's death, as it affected almost everyone, including the cartel's business. Now that we have a bit of an idea of what to expect in the plot, let's take a look at the cast that will grace our screens in the next season. The show will be maintaining some of its old cast, and it will also open its doors to new cast members. Since the show is mostly based on the Byrdes, we can expect to see the power couple Jason Bateman and Linney back in action for the 4th season. This also means that their kids Charlotte and Jonah, played by Sofia Hublitz and Skylar Gaertner respectively, will also be returning. Aside from the Byrdes, some of the show's main characters will also be returning, like Garner as Ruth Langmore, Tahan as Wyatt Langmore, Lisa Emery as Dalene Snell, and Felix Solis as Omar Navarro. Also, we'll be seeing a lot of Navarro this season. It was reported that Solis had been upped to a series regular. In typical Ozark fashion, we lost some people in Season 3, so it's likely that they would not be returning for the season finale. Tom Pelphrey, who played the role of Ben, will most likely not return since he was killed, but theorists are not having it. They believe he may return because his death was not on the screen, so how do we know for sure that he's actually dead? Janet Mcteer, on the other hand, must have said her goodbyes to the show already, as she was shot to death in that mind-blowing final moment of Season 3. Unless she'll be returning as a ghost who's come to haunt the Byrdes and the cartel, we don't expect to see a return of Helen Pierce on the show. We may have seen the last of Wendy and Marty's therapist, Sue, played by Mary Louise Burke, who was also murdered by Nelson during Helen's murders. It may be the final season, but the show will be adding more spicy characters. In November 2020, Netflix took to their Twitter to introduce us to some of the show's new cast members. They wrote, Alfonso Herrera, Adam Rothenberg, Felix Solis, and Damian Young will join the award-winning cast of Ozark Season 4 as series regulars. Some other new casts that would join the show are Bruno Bitcher, Cece Castillo, and Katrina Lenk. Here's a walkthrough of what to expect from the new cast and the roles they'll play in the new season. Herrera will play Javi Alessandro, who's a member of the Navarro family, and he walks a fine line between playing the obedient lieutenant and scheming to take over his uncle's cartel. I guess we're about to see some telenovela twists in this new season. Rothenberg joins the Ozark cast and he plays Mel Saddam, a cop who fell from grace to grass, and now works as a private investigator. He enjoys the chase and won't rest until he unravels the truth. In the new season, Bruno Bitcher will play as Navarro's priest. He'll serve as the cartel's leader's confessor and confidant. Bitcher works for the cartel because he deeply believes his duty lies at a place where God is needed the most. And what other place than a cartel responsible for grievous crimes? Castillo joins the cast as Sheriff Leigh Guerrero, a Missouri law enforcement officer who refuses to play on anyone's terms but her own. Lenk will play Claire Shaw, the CEO of a leading biopharmaceutical company whose judgment is corrupted as she learns the true cost of power. That's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We have a ton of great videos to show you.